3 steps to turn loneliness into self-love. 1, reframe. 2, recognize. 3, accept. The root cause of loneliness is a self-imposed, unconscious isolation. When you criticize yourself, when you judge yourself, when you compare yourself, you tend to feel a sense of inadequacy, and that results in withdrawal. And that unconscious withdrawing and retreating is what creates the isolation that then outpictures itself as loneliness and not being connected and not having company and not being engaged with activities or encountering people that you resonate with. This is a result of a unconscious withdrawal through isolation, through criticizing yourself, judging yourself, comparing yourself. So, step number 1, reframe. You now begin to consider and recognize that when you engage in something solo, going to dinner, going to a movie, you're no longer going to dinner alone. You're no longer going to the movies alone. You are going with yourself. That's right. You are going with yourself. This isn't you putting a happy spin on loneliness. This is your first step to leverage the transformation of that experience, is to begin to see yourself as, when you're engaging solo activities, that you are with yourself, not going to the movies alone, not going to dinner alone. You are with yourself. Alone denotes self-judgment. It denotes judgment. With yourself denotes that you are recognizing that you are good company. You need to be good company to yourself before you can radiate and express and carry the frequency of being good company when you're with others. Being good company doesn't mean you're the life of the party. Being good company means that you have accepted yourself, and therefore others are comfortable accepting you as well. And so number 2 is that you recognize. You begin to recognize your value. And so releasing judgment, releasing comparison, that allows you to then begin to recognize your value. You're not trying to achieve value, you are recognizing your inherent value. And that occurs as you stop judging yourself. You then become available to recognize your gifts, to appreciate your gifts, and therein you begin to recognize your value. Recognizing your value comes from the idea of appreciating something. When we recognize the value of something, it's something that we appreciate. So as you begin to appreciate yourself, this is not narcissism, this is not arrogance, this is not ego. Appreciating yourself is just that. Appreciation is not the same thing as trying to pump yourself up and trying to be egoic or egotistical. Appreciation is you valuing something. So you want to begin to value yourself. And now number 3, you want to begin to accept yourself. Accepting yourself doesn't mean that you're accepting all the things that you think are your faults and your errors and your mistakes. Accepting yourself means to recognize that in order for any kind of self-improvement to express and to progress, you want to begin from a place of feeling very good about yourself. And so that comes from accepting just the innate sense of your aliveness, the innate sense of you being here. That's where the root and the basis and the foundation of self-acceptance comes from. You're not accepting yourself because you're pleased with everything that's going on in your world and in your life. You're accepting yourself because you are the means by which what you desire to have happening in your life can occur, is that it happens through you. And so therefore you want to accept yourself so that you give yourself that self-love leverage with which to then progress in the areas you desire to satisfy and fulfill. And so the transformation of loneliness to self-love is to reframe the idea of going alone, being alone when you're solo, as with yourself. So therefore good company starts with yourself. And number 2, you're recognizing your value. You recognize value by releasing the idea of comparing yourself and judging yourself. Then you become available to recognition. You don't have to think of things to be appreciative of about yourself, those things become evident when you're no longer preoccupied with judging yourself and comparing yourself. And the third thing is acceptance. Begin to accept the fact that your very aliveness is the reason why you are worthy. And so that's the basis of self-acceptance. This is Hypnotherapist Isaiah McGee. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more empowering insights for maximizing your well-being.